smoking.
Can you touch on the Black Hills and what's been done to them, and basically how they were taken?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to talk about that. At Sapa, the Black Hills, our creation stories teach us our people emerged from Wind Cave in the Black Hills. We were subterranean people until the buffalo were given to us to sustain us on the earth. And that's when we came out of Wind Cave, right in the Black Hills. That's where we're from. That's what our ancestors teach us we're from. That's how important the Black Hills are to the Lakota people. It was a place of mystery for us. We went there in the winter for shelter. It's sometimes referred to as the banana belt because the mountains form a natural barrier in the winter, where out on the plains it might be 10 below zero. Along Rapid Creek it'll be 40 degrees in February. Vision quests out there, annual gatherings of the Oyate, everything. The Black Hills are everything to us. It was the heart of our country. In 1874, or prior to 1874, reports started coming out that there was gold in the Black Hills. Custer led a military expedition into the hills in 1874 and reported gold to be found by merely stooping down to pick it up off the ground. Initiated a gold rush. The Black Hills are within our 51 and 68 treaty lands, promised to us forever. Tensions rose. There was a war for the Black Hills. The Lakota, along with our Cheyenne and Arapaho relatives, engaged in battle to try and save the Black Hills from theft. The military campaigns that were a part of saving the Black Hills led to Custer's defeat at the Greasy Grass in 1876. After Custer's destruction, the government went about chasing us down, the last free ones of us, and carving up the 68 treaty lands to get at the Black Hills. They were illegally seized through unilateral acts of Congress. The treaty requirement was that if there was to be any land cessions, 3/4 of the adult male population had to agree to it. None of this was ever put to a vote. They were just taken from us once they found gold. A claim was submitted to the Indian Claims Commission by Washichu lawyers on what was called the Sioux Nation's behalf in the brief. The Sioux Nation versus the United States is one of the most, in Indian law, famous cases there is. Because finally in 1980, the United States Supreme Court held in the taking of the Black Hills, and this is almost a direct quote, a more ripe and rank case of dishonorable dealing in our nation's history will not be found. And they still ruled against us. The Indian Claims Commission in the 1920s awarded $17 million for the taking of the Black Hills. And the court affirmed that award with interest. Simple interest, not even compound interest, simple interest. And now that trust fund, which the tribes, the Lakota people, have consistently refused to accept, is well over $1 billion. I don't know the exact total right now. We refuse to take it. And we maintain the Black Hills are not for sale. There have been attempts over the years to see some type of settlement of the Black Hills issue. The American Indian Movement under the leadership of Russell Means established what was called Mackenzie Yellow Thunder Camp in honor of an activist named Raymond Yellow Thunder. I don't know if he was an activist, but he was a Pine Ridge tribal member who was beat to death in Gordon, Nebraska back then. They established Yellow Thunder Camp, but it failed. It was abandoned. In the 1980s, Senator Bill Bradley, a Democrat from New Jersey, introduced what was known as the Bradley Bill. Bill Bradley was a former professional basketball player before he turned senator. A brilliant man. I think he was Princeton educated. And when he was with the Knicks in the summer, him and Phil Jackson, the famous coach, would hold basketball clinics at Pine Ridge. Or Phil Jackson would hold basketball clinics at Pine Ridge. And Bill Bradley went to a couple of these and got to know the people. And he got told the story of the Black Hills back when he was a player. Well, here when he became senator, he came up with an idea to return all the federal land within the Black Hills to our people. 1.6 million acres. And the South Dakota congressional delegation refused to support the bill. 90% of white South Dakotans opposed the bill.
90% of white South Dakotans
Opposed the Bradley bill.
Wow.
And this is just returning the federal land to tribal control. And it was obviously it never made it out of committee. And then we suffered from infighting too over the Bradley bill, because that trust fund is a real thorn in the side for like deeply traditional people. That money is a non-starter. Other people want to see that money used as a back payment for rent, and others just want to see it dispersed on a per cap. My personal feeling is they can take their money and just give us our land back. It's ours. It's sacred. I don't like our people not willing to support the return, and this is just me talking, of the federal land. I think that's a foothold. I think it's a start. I think if it's done right, that one point, look at, if you go out to the Black Hills now, they're being despoiled at a rate that will make our women cry. You know, there's this tree crematorium located in Spearfish, South Dakota. While we sit there saying the Black Hills are not for sale and acting righteous and pious about it, they're milling about 100 trees a day through this, tree, whatever, lumber mill of Black Hills pine. While we're saying the Black Hills aren't for sale, more development occurs in more places, more trees are clear cut. While we say the Black Hills are not for sale, they're exploring for uranium after depleting all the gold deposits in the Lee Deadwood area at the Homestake Gold Mine. While we say the Black Hills are not for sale, they're being raped. If we get that 1.6 million acres back, we can at least put a stop to the exploitation of those 1.6 million acres. And if it's done in the right way, from then on, Lakota people, the tribe, should be given rights of first refusal of all private land that comes for sale then, and given rights of first refusal at fair market value for the seller to help us get more land back where it belongs. And it's not that we own it, Mike. I'll say that again to you.
You're the stewards.
We're the stewards. We're the custodians. We're the protectors of it, given a right given to us. And others, what do you call them? Anthropologists.
Yeah.
They like to tell us that the Black Hills were occupied by the Kiowa, and the Crow came along and kicked them out. And the Cheyenne came along and kicked them out. And then finally, you, Lakota and Dakota, got chased out of Minnesota onto these plains, and you kicked them out. So you don't have an ancestral claim to the Black Hills. Well, in 1851, when they gathered all the northern nations to set forth the boundaries, and these were our own nations agreeing to our boundaries, the Black Hills were Lakota. No other tribe has ever disputed our claim to those Black Hills. Not one. They are ours to protect. They are ours to oversee.